everyone, it's Yvonne here to do your weekly reading, and this will be for the sign of Cancer. Cancer, please remember, if the reading resonates with you, I'd be very grateful if you would put a thumbs up. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate your support. If you're interested in taking classes at the moment, all the classes are below the video. I am booked out for the first 3 in June, but I hope that going forward I'll be able to offer classes on other days. There are still a couple of positions left in the last class in June, in the meditation class. If you would like to donate to my channel, you can do that via the button on my Aussie Goddess page. And if you'd like a personal reading, everything's below this reading in the text box underneath. Okay. I'm going to use the Connolly Tarot for your reading. I'm in love with a new deck. Actually, I'm in love with a couple of new decks. I've been very lucky that people have been so beautifully generous with me the last couple of weeks and been sending some beautiful decks through to me. So thank you so much for those who are doing that. There's nothing more beautiful than receiving heartfelt gifts from you. So thank you. Okay. Spirit, nice split there. All right, so we have the Lovers coming straight out. What a nice start to your reading. So the Lovers card talks of two people being brought together in a divinely orchestrated relationship. This is something that's meant to be. The Lovers card talks about divine timing, bringing two people into union, and you can see that in the cards. So very beautiful. Behind that we have the Hanged Man. Now the Hanged Man this is about taking time out to see things from a different perspective. Sometimes this is just taking time out from the world. At other times it's because you need to perhaps refocus your intention. Maybe you need to consider a new direction. Whatever this is, again, we have an angel in this card. So I feel that something here has perhaps changed your way of thinking or changed the way you look at things, because you're definitely getting some sort of enlightenment here. We do have the Star card behind. So I'm looking at this thinking that perhaps Cancer, you or someone you're dealing with has come to some sort of realization that this is meant to be here. The Star card talks about healing and faith and trust, but it also talks about your destiny, what you are destined to do. So it's very much all three of these cards, major arcana. So you've got spirit intervention here. Very difficult to ignore this sort of energy. It's very, very potent. And we have the Queen of Swords. So you could be dealing with a Libra, Gemini or Aquarius here. The Queen of Swords, or you could be taking on this energy yourself. The Queen of Swords is someone who's wanting to talk. This is about a conversation. It's about having clarity, precision, and moving forward on something. Now, the Queen of Swords she has no fear. She is ready to speak up, say her piece, but she's also ready to cut things out if they don't go in her favour. So very interesting here, because you have the Ten of Pentacles behind that. So somebody here is following their destiny, going after what they want, having clarity about what they are heading towards, and I feel that they've had either maybe an epiphany, spiritual intervention, some sort of, so I always say spirit only pokes you so many times with a stick and then they'll throw the stick at you. So someone's had the stick thrown at them, I'd say here. Okay. So another major arcana, we have the Strength card coming out. So some of you could possibly be dealing with a Leo. The Strength card is the card of taming your inner demons. And I know with the Star card coming out, it's talking about healing. So the Strength card sort of says that you've been doing quite a lot of inner work, a lot of healing, and maybe have worked on the things that you have had sort of hidden within your shadow side. There's something very potent about this card too, because it says you've achieved this level of being able to understand who you are now. So understanding your own value. And maybe you needed to clear some of the debris that's been holding you back here. And you could have been doing that under the Hanged Man energy. Whoa, we have another major arcana. Okay, really interesting. Very, very interesting reading. The Judgment card talks about rebirth. It's sort of like the phoenix, the birth of the phoenix coming back from the dead. I think it's really interesting because you again have a cherub on this card. So I feel like you're getting a lot of push from the universe to do something here. The Judgment card does talk about sort of bringing yourself back from the dead, bringing yourself, you know, rebirthing yourself from the ashes as the phoenix did. Sometimes this can be about having a second chance, having another opportunity at something, another bite at the cherry, as it were. Okay, and then we have the Three of Swords. There you go. So the Three of Swords is a card of hurt, the card of heartbreak. There seems to have been some sadness here that maybe you're still feeling after going through. Maybe the changes that you've been working towards have brought you some pain. You know, sometimes with the Three of Swords, it can talk about a third-party relationship. So, you know, love for another person that sort of has got in between you and someone else, or three people in a relationship, basically. But I feel that this isn't like that's here. This is giving off a different energy. And I feel that this may be some sort of healing you've had to do around childhood wounds. There's sort of a very strong feeling here that you've had to work through perhaps mother and father issues here, and learn to sort of take them or move them out of your life. There's a very strong feeling that this is to do with, you know, mother, child, father here, energy. The rose is nice though, because the rose sort of signifies new life here. Okay, so we have the Page of Swords coming through. Now, the Page of Swords talks about some sort of action that is needed. It signifies that somebody needs to perhaps make contact, speak, offer some sort of conversation here. And the Page of Swords they're very new energy, so this could be a new situation you're embarking on, but certainly something that's in the early stages. The Page of Swords can also talk about that stalking thing, and I don't really like the word stalking because it does make it sound really negative, but you know, maybe keeping an eye on something and seeing, sort of checking on something. It can be about doing research, so maybe you've been sort of scouting the internet, Googling a little bit to sort of see where something's up to. You may have learned a lot of the stuff you've worked on over the internet. The Five of Pentacles here, so I can't help feeling there's some sadness here for some reason, but I'll keep going. Yeah, I feel that you've had to walk away from something here, because you're getting a second chance at something, but there's like a lot of sadness here in this taming. It's almost like you're moving away from a situation here to move to something else. Yeah, you've closed out a cycle. Wow, you really have made some big changes here, Cancer, because the amount of major arcanas here say to me that the universe has had a big impact on you at the moment. Look at this, transition. Okay, so that's the death. You've had death of the ego. You've been able to understand this pain from your past and how it affects you now. This is death of what was. You've closed this out. That's why you're moving away. You know, you must feel like a completely different person here with this energy. It's like you've been able to slay demons here. Let's just keep going. The Death card talks about letting something die off. I feel here, and again, it's sort of a really potent reading. But what it does do, it goes backwards and forwards. It's like you've had to work with the pain, but at times you've had to stop because I think it's been really, really difficult. So whatever this work you've been doing, whatever this pain is you're going through, what you've moved away from to rebirth yourself, I feel at times it really pulled you downwards. And it's like you had to get all the way back up and start again, because this sort of energy here says to me you had to relive things that perhaps weren't good to work through, weren't good energy to have to face. But I feel that you've done it, because you've got the World and Rebirth here. So, and look at this, Page of Cups coming up at the end here. So I feel this is like having a brand new start at life. It's like you're being given this new opportunity, this opportunity to start again. It's like the universe has helped you clear your path so you can do things differently this time. And because you've been able to give away a lot of that pain, some of you may have moved away from addictions here, but because you've cleared a lot of that pain, it's like the universe is opening something really amazing for you here. I do have the Five of Wands. I just want to put a couple of cards to clarify that last one, and the Knight of Wands coming through here. So it's, you've found your passion and your creativity. It's like you're leaving something behind that was treacherous or really difficult for you to deal with. And it's like every time you've gone through some sort of stage of pain, you've sort of found yourself out the other side, and then you've been ready for the next level. So you may have done some incredibly strong leveling up. Maybe you've had like an awakening, and you've been through several stages in a short period of time. But there's this, it's really potent energies in this reading. Okay, so you have the card of the Rainbow coming out. So I'm reading here from the Mystical Shaman deck, which I absolutely love, of course. All right, 41. The Rainbow. Okay, the Rainbow tells you that the end of the stream is... Oh, end of the stream. No, Yvonne, it's a storm. The Rainbow tells you that the end of the storm is near. Persevere, remember that it's darkest just before the dawn. Do not give up hope. Things are about to take a positive turn. Listen for the morning rooster that announces the coming of the dawn, even when the night is still darkest. But do not claim victory yet, or let your guard down fully. So that sounds like you probably still have a little way to go, but you've made marvelous steps here. Like you've really pushed yourself forward. It's a really beautiful reading. Have a great week.